We already have a submission of what you submitted, but I think we shall allow you to officially present it before we make our own stance known. So please, if you can summarize and present the budget of your ministry.
Chairman, Senate Committee on Foreign Affairs, His Excellency Senator Abubakar Sani Bello, the Deputy Chairman, His Excellency Senator Seriake Dixon, Chairman, House Committee on Foreign Affairs, Honorable Wole Oke, and the Deputy Chairman, Honorable Malam Bukar Gana, distinguished senators, and Honorable House Committee members of the Foreign Affairs of the National Assembly, invited guests, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. We are delighted and honored to be here today to present the Ministry of Foreign Affairs 2025 budget proposal and to provide an overview of its priority activities, programs, and challenges. Let me begin by expressing my profound appreciation to the Chairman, the esteemed members of the Senate, and the honorable members of the House Committee on Foreign Affairs for your unwavering support of the ministry. Your consistent prioritization of foreign affairs has enabled the ministry to achieve significant milestones despite our challenges. As you are aware, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs' core mandate is the formulation, articulation, conduct, and execution of Nigeria's foreign policy. These mandates are carried out through the 109 missions, diplomatic and consular missions abroad, and the various international organizations to which Nigeria is accredited. Additionally, the ministry is supported by affiliated agencies including 1. Directorate of Technical Aid Corps, DTAC. 2. Foreign Service Academy, FSA. 3. Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, IPCR. 4. The Nigeria Institute for International Affairs, NIIA. 5. The Directorate for Technical Cooperation in Africa, DTCA. 6. Nigerians in the Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, NIDCOM. Given the National Assembly's pivotal roles, the ministry relies on a close partnership with you, distinguished members, to achieve its statutory objectives. I will just give a brief assessment of the 2024 budget implementation. So, Chairman, distinguished members, the implementation of the 2024 budget saw commendable release of funds. For instance, the ministry's overhead and personnel cost allocations were fully released, while 70% of its capital cost allocation has been released. In the same vein, missions capital cost allocations have also been released fully, while the first and second semester personnel and overhead cost allocations have also been released. Unfortunately, the foreign exchange differentials associated with the new monetary policy and harmonization of exchange rates have exacerbated the mission's financial situation, resulting in shortfalls in allocations beginning from the second half of the 2023 fiscal year. The challenging financial situation has resulted in the shutting down of electricity and internet services by service providers in some of our embassies abroad, including the removal of children from schools due to non-payment of school fees. Landlords have also been serving eviction notices to many of our diplomats because of non-payment of their rents. The poor financial situation of our missions has also resulted in litigation from the locally recruited staff and service providers due to non-payment of salaries and defaults in contractual obligations. Indeed, these developments have generated negative and unsavory comments against the government by some members of the media and the public, and could adversely stain the image of our dear country. Mr. Chairman, distinguished senators, and honorable House members, despite the appreciable release of funds, the ministry and its missions could barely meet 50% of their obligations, as budgetary provisions are grossly inadequate. This has put the operations of the ministry, its missions, and its agencies in serious difficulties with huge outstanding liabilities. For instance, due to the difference between the budgeted rate of USD 1 to 750 in the 2024 appropriation bill and the prevailing exchange rate of USD 1 to 1,590.25, the mission's budget suffers shortfalls as follows. Personnel cost, 95,557,230,728.32. Overhead costs, 38,167,113,603.83. The capital vote is as follows: 148,858,600,493.75. In the same vein, the ministry has a stockpile of liabilities for service providers, postings of new officers, return entitlements and passages of officers, as well as other sundry claims as follows. 2023 posting and recall of ambassadors, 12,645,413,788.87. 2024 posting of ambassadors and officers, 48,452,085,522.62. Other charges come to 299,855,664.85. The digitalization of work in the ministry comes to 1,750 million. The total comes to 63,147,354,976 plus 0.34 rather. It is in this regard, and importantly, to save the image of our great nation, coupled with the need to restore the morale of officers and staff serving both at home and abroad, that I sincerely solicit your kind and favorable intervention and consideration in addressing the financial situations in the ministry and our missions abroad, which have continued to negatively impact service delivery and remain, of course, a source of grave concern. Your presence today for this exercise provides for us a golden opportunity to put down this request and for you to assist the ministry in addressing its challenges. With regards to the overview of the 2025 budget proposal of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and its parastatals, we submit that in line with the federal government's National Development Plan, MTNDP 2012 to 2025, the Budget Office proposed 353.77 billion for the Ministry 2025 budget against the Ministry needs assessment of 1,595,837,981,804. The proposed budget from the Budget Office, with a 20% increase against the 2024 budget, is grossly inadequate. The breakdown of the proposed budget is as follows. Personnel cost allocation, 214.64 billion. Overhead cost allocation, 72.24 billion. Capital cost allocation, 66.88 billion. Given the above, it is my pleasure to present the 2025 capital and recurrent budget proposal of the main ministry and its agencies as follows. Ministry of Foreign Affairs, proposed amount in 2025, 5,343,903,798. The amount appropriated in 2024 comes to 2,512,681,788. Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM. The 2025 proposed amount comes to 608,918,075. The 2024 appropriated amount is 652,981,381. For the Technical Aid Corps TAC, the amount proposed in 2025 comes to 529,223,480, whilst the amount appropriated in 2024 comes to 113,515,289. For the Foreign Service Academy, the proposed amount in 2025 comes to 537,543,641. The amount appropriated in 2024 is 117,635,571. For the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, the proposed amount for 2025 comes to 645,768,618. The 2024 appropriated amount is 171,230,385. For the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, DTCA, the proposed amount in 2025 comes to 537,700,257, whereas the amount appropriated in 2024 comes to 117,713,130. The Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Lagos, proposed amount for 2025 is 536,571,038. The amount appropriated in 2024 is 117,153,922 for our foreign missions worldwide. The proposed amount in 2025 comes to 58,143,048,229, whereas the amount appropriated in 2024 is 256,641. The total sum comes to 66,882,677,136. This is for 2025. The amount appropriated in 2024, the total was 16,254,168,107. For the overhead cost budget for our ministries, departments, and agencies, starting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the proposed amount in 2025 comes to 9,437,007,257. The amount appropriated in 2024 comes to 5,267,838,466. For NIDCOM, Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, the proposed amount for 2025 is 377,098,276. The amount that was appropriated in 2024 comes to 263,125,368. For the Technical Aid Corps, TAC, the proposed amount for 2025 comes to 675,179,674. The amount that was appropriated in 2024 comes to 471,115,654. For the Foreign Service Academy, FSA, the proposed amount for the 2025 comes to 172,675,442, whereas the amount that was appropriated in 2024 came to 120,486,601. The overhead cost budget for the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution in 2025 comes to 485,361,575, whereas the amount that was appropriated in 2024 came up to 338,667,535. For the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, DTCA, the amount proposed in the 2025 budget comes up to 440,969,435, whereas the amount that was appropriated in 2024 was 307,692,326. For the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Lagos, the proposed amount for the 2025 comes up to 439,279,973. For the year 2024, the amount appropriated was 306,513,481. For our foreign missions abroad, the proposed amount for 2025 comes up to 60,215,116,297. Whereas the amount appropriated in 2024 came up to 33,612,722,658. This brings it up to a total cost for the 2025 proposed amounts at 72,242,687,929, whereas the amount appropriated in 2024, the total costs came up to 40,688,162,118. With regards to the personnel cost budget for our ministries, departments, and agencies, for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, our home ministry, the 2025 proposed amount comes up to 7,427,119,467. The amount that was appropriated in 2024 was 5,127,675,285. The personnel cost budget for Nigerians in Diaspora Commission for 2025 comes up to 541,037,512. In 2024, the amount appropriated was 309,568,266. For the Technical Aid Corps, the amount proposed for 2025 comes up to 20,075,460,612. Whereas the amount that was appropriated in 2024 came up to 8,776,754,199. For the Institute for Peace and Conflict Resolution, the proposed amount for personnel costs for 2025 comes up to 1,379,905,915, whereas the amount that was appropriated in 2024 was 724,706,785. 797. For the Directorate of Technical Cooperation in Africa, DTCA, the proposed amount for 2025 comes up to 648,104,272, whereas the amount appropriated in 2024 was 102,342. The personnel cost budget for the Nigerian Institute of Lagos for 2025 is proposed to be 572,259,407, whereas in the year 2024 the amount appropriated was 438,409,521. For our foreign missions, the proposed amount for 2025 comes up to 184 billion and 39,346. The amount appropriated last year, 2024, was 83 billion 938,356,900, bringing this to a total for the 2025 budget to 214 billion 643.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Hold on, Mr. 1 second.
Yes.
So since